Have you ever found yourself staring at the ceiling at 2 in the morning thinking, why can't I just fall asleep like I used to? Your body feels tired, your eyes are heavy, but your mind just won't settle down. Or maybe it's not falling asleep that's the problem. Maybe you doze off just fine, but then you wake up at 3 or 4, wide-eyed and restless, with no sign of sleep returning. If you're nodding your head right now, I want you to know you're not alone. So many people over 60 are quietly struggling with sleep. And yet, we rarely talk about it, do we? We brush it off as just part of getting older, as if being tired all the time is something we should simply accept. But I want to tell you something different. Just because sleep changes after 60 doesn't mean it has to disappear. There are real reasons why this happens, and more importantly, there are gentle, natural ways to help your body remember how to rest again. In this video, we're going to walk through 7 simple natural remedies that actually work. No harsh pills, no expensive gimmicks, just everyday changes and tools that support your body's natural rhythm. Because sleep isn't something we have to force. It's something we create space for. And today, we're going to talk about how to make that space. Let's start with one of the biggest but most overlooked helpers, magnesium. You might be surprised at how many people over 60 are low in this essential mineral and don't even realize it. Magnesium is what helps your muscles relax, your nervous system calm down, and your brain switch into rest mode. Without enough of it, your body can feel like it's stuck in on mode, even when you desperately want it to turn off. And here's the thing, as we age, our ability to absorb magnesium from food can decrease, especially if we've been under stress, taking certain medications, or just haven't been eating quite the way we used to. That's why so many older adults have trouble falling asleep or staying asleep, and they have no idea their body might just be craving more magnesium. The good news is, this is an easy fix. You can start by adding more magnesium-rich foods to your day. Things like spinach, almonds, pumpkin seeds, or even a little dark chocolate in the evening can help. If food alone isn't quite enough, a gentle supplement, especially magnesium glycinate or citrate, can be a great addition. And if you prefer something a little more relaxing, try an Epsom salt bath before bed. The warm water and magnesium together can help your whole body release the tension it's been carrying all day. Now, once your body starts to feel more relaxed physically, it's important to also give your brain the right signals to wind down. That's where light comes into the picture. Your brain relies on light and darkness to know when to be awake and when to prepare for sleep. But in our modern world, it's easy to confuse that natural cycle. Think about it. How often are we indoors during the day, barely getting any sunlight? And then in the evening, we're surrounded by bright lights, glowing screens, and TV is flashing in the background. It's no wonder our brains get mixed messages. The most powerful thing you can do for your sleep is actually free. Go outside in the morning. Just 10 to 15 minutes of morning sunlight can reset your body's internal clock, helping it understand this is daytime, so that when night falls, your brain knows it's time to rest. You don't have to do anything fancy. Just sit by a window with your coffee or take a short walk after breakfast. That one habit alone can start to bring your rhythm back into balance. Equally important is what happens at night. About an hour before bed, start turning off or dimming the lights in your home. Switch to soft, warm lighting if possible. If you usually watch TV or scroll through your phone before bed, try replacing that with something quieter, like listening to soft music, doing a puzzle, or reading with a dim light. That gentle shift in your environment tells your brain, we're not working anymore. It's time to rest now. Now that we've given your body some magnesium and started realigning your light signals, there's another beautiful and often overlooked piece of the puzzle, your evening routine. I want you to think about your evenings for a second. Are they rushed? Are they filled with distractions, noise, or last-minute emails? Maybe the day just kind of blurs into night, and before you know it, you're crawling into bed with your mind still spinning. That's the case for so many of us, especially after 60, when our schedules may be more open, but our thoughts not always so quiet. What your body craves more than anything is rhythm, predictability, a gentle cue that says, we're wrapping things up now. You can let go. Even something as simple as making a cup of herbal tea, washing your face, turning on a lamp, and reading a few pages of a book can become a powerful bedtime signal. It doesn't matter what the routine is, as long as it's consistent and calming. That repetition helps your brain build an association. When I do these things, it means sleep is coming. It doesn't need to be perfect. Some nights will be easier than others. But the more you create this wind-down rhythm, the more your body will start to follow it, without effort, without struggle, without frustration. And if you wake up in the middle of the night, that routine can help then too. Instead of lying in bed worrying about why you're awake, try gently stepping out of bed, sitting in a cozy chair, and repeating part of your wind down. Read a page or two of a favorite book. Sip a bit of water. Breathe slowly. Remind your body that it's okay. It hasn't failed. It's just adjusting. And you're still on its side. Now that we've opened the door to better rest through magnesium, morning light, and a calming evening routine, let's keep going. There are still a few more gentle, natural remedies that can support deeper sleep and bring that peace back to your nights. Now that we've started creating a softer evening rhythm, giving your body more magnesium, your brain more clarity through morning light, and your evenings more peace, it's time to take a deeper look at what's happening inside your mind and body when sleep still won't come. Because even with the right physical conditions, sometimes the barrier to sleep is something you can't see or touch. You can feel it though. It's that low, steady hum of worry that sits just beneath the surface. Thoughts that keep coming back. Questions that never really get answered. And at night, when everything gets quiet, that's when those thoughts tend to get loud. For many people over 60, this restlessness has a name: anxiety. And it's not always dramatic or overwhelming. Sometimes it shows up as a tightness in the chest, a racing mind, or the simple inability to let go of the day. And unfortunately, your nervous system doesn't know the difference between real danger and racing thoughts. It just stays on guard. That's why one of the most powerful remedies for sleep, especially if your mind is the thing keeping you up, is breath. Not just automatic breathing, but intentional calming breath that speaks directly to your nervous system. Something as simple as a few slow, deep breaths before bed can start to shift your whole experience. You don't need anything fancy. Just sit or lie down, close your eyes, and try this. Inhale slowly through your nose for 4 counts, hold for 4, and exhale gently through your mouth for 6. As you breathe out, imagine your body softening, your thoughts loosening their grip. Do that a few times. There's no perfect way to do it. Just show up for yourself, one breath at a time. This kind of breathing activates your body's parasympathetic nervous system, the part that helps you rest, digest, and recover. And if you make it a part of your wind-down routine, it becomes a signal, a loving nudge toward rest. The more you practice, the more your body will start to respond with less resistance and more ease. Another wonderful natural tool for calming that internal noise is herbal support. Not sleeping pills. Those can often make things worse, especially long-term, but time-tested gentle herbs that have been helping people sleep for generations. Let's start with valerian root. It doesn't work like a sedative that knocks you out. Instead, it works by soothing your nervous system gradually. Some people describe the feeling like a soft blanket over their thoughts, still present, but not buzzing anymore. You can find valerian in teas, capsules, or liquid drops. If you're trying it for the first time, start with a small dose and see how your body responds. Then there's lemon balm, which belongs to the mint family, but has a mild calming effect on the brain. It's especially useful if your sleeplessness comes from racing thoughts or emotional tension. It works beautifully in tea, especially combined with chamomile or lavender, both of which also help create a relaxed state without grogginess. Speaking of chamomile, it's one of the most gentle but beloved sleep remedies out there. Its calming effect is subtle but real. It doesn't knock you out. It invites you to slow down. And sometimes that's exactly what the body needs most.
You can try these herbs one at a time, or explore a calming tea blend in the evening. Even the simple ritual of making tea, holding a warm cup, and sitting quietly as you sip can become part of the message you're sending to your body. We're not rushing anymore. We're letting go now. Now, let's talk about something that doesn't come in a bottle or a teacup: movement. You might be thinking, what does exercise have to do with sleep? The answer: everything. As we age, our days can get a bit more still. Maybe we're not chasing after children anymore. Maybe we're no longer working full-time. Maybe our pace has slowed in beautiful ways, but sometimes that stillness means our energy has nowhere to go. And when that physical energy builds up without being used, it often spills over into the night. You're lying in bed, but your body still feels on. Or your brain won't stop turning over thoughts, trying to process what didn't get worked through during the day. That's why gentle, regular movement can be one of the most healing things you do for your sleep. This doesn't mean running miles or doing intense workouts. It means finding a form of movement that brings you joy. A walk in the fresh air, gentle yoga or stretching, a dance around your kitchen while your dinner is cooking. Even simple chores like gardening or sweeping the porch can be a kind of rhythm that tells your body, we've moved. We've used our energy. Now it's time to rest. Movement also helps reduce the stress hormones that build up when we feel anxious or overwhelmed. It boosts your mood, supports your metabolism, and gives your body a clear sense of when the day begins and when it ends. You're creating contrast, activity followed by stillness. That rhythm is something your body recognizes and responds to. The beautiful thing about all of these remedies, breathing, herbs, movement, is that they don't fight your body, they support it. They don't silence your symptoms with force. They listen to them and respond with kindness. And that's really what good sleep is about. It's about listening, about tuning in, about remembering that your body isn't working against you. It's asking for your support in new ways. And the more you offer that support, through breath, through nature, through movement, through rhythm, the more your body will begin to trust again, to relax, to soften into sleep, the way it used to. Now that we've built on this foundation with deeper calming tools, let's continue this journey and talk about how to bring it all together, how your space, your mindset, and your self-talk can become the final pieces of your nighttime puzzle. You've given your body the minerals it craves, created more rhythm in your days, explored the power of movement and breath, and maybe even found comfort in a warm cup of tea before bed. These aren't just random tricks. They're acts of self-care, of tuning into what your body is really asking for. And now, let's bring all of this home. Because sometimes, the final ingredients for sleep aren't found in supplements or routines. They're found in your space, your mindset, and the way you speak to yourself. Let's begin with your bedroom, not just how it looks, but how it feels. When you walk into your bedroom at night, does your body relax, or does it feel cluttered, busy, or a bit too stimulating? Over time, we start to treat our bedrooms like multi-use spaces. Maybe it doubles as a TV room, a laundry room, a storage area. But your brain associates everything it sees. And if your sleep space feels like anything but a place for rest, it makes it harder to settle in. So take a moment to look around your room. Is the lighting soft? Are your sheets clean and cozy? Can you remove a few distractions, like your phone charger on the nightstand, or the pile of paperwork in the corner? You don't need to create a perfect Pinterest-worthy bedroom, just a space that says, you're safe, you're welcome here. You can let go now. Pay attention to light and sound, too. Use warm, dim lighting in the evening. Consider blackout curtains if you wake easily with early morning light. Use a fan or a white noise machine if little sounds tend to startle you. You're creating a cocoon, one that wraps you in calm and familiarity. Now let's shift from the outer world to the inner one. Your thoughts, your beliefs, and that quiet little voice that talks to you in the middle of the night. One of the biggest reasons we can't sleep isn't because we're not tired. It's because we're frustrated that we're still awake. It becomes a loop. You wake up. You look at the clock. You think, not again. I'm going to be exhausted tomorrow. Why is this happening? And those thoughts feed the very anxiety you're trying to calm. But what if, just for tonight, you met that moment with kindness instead of judgment? What if you whispered to yourself, it's okay. My body is doing its best. This moment will pass, and rest will come again. Even if sleep doesn't return right away, you've created a pocket of peace, and that peace, in itself, is healing. So much of good sleep is permission. To rest even when things aren't perfect. To slow down even if the day felt unproductive. To forgive your mind for thinking too much. The words you say to yourself in those quiet hours matter. Choose words that comfort, not criticize. And finally, let's talk about consistency. Not as a rigid routine, but as a loving structure. Your body loves rhythm. It thrives on knowing what to expect. And when your sleep and wake times are all over the place, your internal clock gets confused. Try to go to bed around the same time each night and wake up at the same time too, even on weekends. This simple rhythm can reset your circadian cycle and help your body begin to predict when it's time to sleep. It takes a little time, But if you stay with it, your body will respond. And just as importantly, celebrate the small wins. Maybe tonight you fall asleep faster, even if you still wake up early. That's progress. Maybe you don't need your afternoon nap anymore. That's progress. Maybe your mind feels calmer, even if your sleep isn't perfect yet. That's real progress. We live in a world that measures everything by results. But when it comes to sleep, consistency, gentleness, and self-compassion are far more powerful than perfection. So if you've made it this far with me, I want to say this from my heart. You're doing beautifully, even if your sleep isn't perfect yet. Even if your nights still feel restless. The fact that you're showing up for yourself, trying new things, and being open to change, that matters deeply. You are not alone in this. Millions of people over 60 are quietly navigating this same challenge, and together, we're changing the way we approach it. We're replacing frustration with understanding, replacing quick fixes with true support, replacing hopelessness with gentle, steady hope. If something in this video spoke to you, if one of these natural remedies helped, or even just gave you a sense of calm, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Your experience could help someone else who's scrolling late at night, just like you, looking for something that finally makes sense. And if you found this helpful, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. This is a space made for you, where your challenges are heard, your wisdom is honored, and your well-being matters. You deserve deep, restful sleep, not because you earned it, but because you're human, because you've lived a full life, because your body deserves to repair and your mind deserves to rest. So tonight, dim the lights, take a few breaths, sip your tea, and speak to yourself with love. Let your body know, we're not in a hurry, we're just resting now. Here's to peaceful nights, gentle mornings, and living your best life. One breath, one night, one kind thought at a time. Sweet dreams.